Democrats reportedly have new anxiety over their party's 2024 presidential ticket, and for good reason. According to NBC News, some in President Biden's inner circle are concerned that his son's indictment will distract the president's focus from 2024. We've just learned hours ago that the first son is now taking legal action, get this, against his dad's IRS. That lawsuit reads in part, quote, "The IRS and its agents have conducted themselves under a presumption that the rights that apply to every other American citizen do not apply to Mr. Biden." And it's not just the ever-growing issues surrounding the president's son that are dogging Biden these days. It's got some political issues. A recent Fox News poll found a staggering 58% of Americans disapprove of President Biden's performance as commander-in-chief. That same poll also shows a 14% drop in the president's approval rating among self-described Democrats. Not a good sign, sinking from 95% back in April of 2021 to now 81%. Emily, starting with this Hunter Biden lawsuit, my former colleague Carrie Kupek, she was at DOJ, made a brilliant point. One, he's suing his dad's IRS over targeting him, and his father's DOJ, who he's accusing of weaponization. Sounds familiar.
You know, throughout that lawsuit, he's whining and complaining that he just wants to be treated like every other American. Well, that's exactly what's happening, Hunter. That's what happens when you evade taxes. And in fact, he's already been rewarded by his position of privilege. So I argue he's actually not being treated as every other American. He's being treated better than them. You know, he's no... I looked up, I researched what cases have been successful against the IRS, because we've seen, and I've talked about on this couch, your tax dollars at work with the IRS fanning out and loving to fly across the country for evasions to the tune of $15,000, $30,000 or less. He's $1.5 million, and he, for example, classified his sex club dues or stripper tips as things that he could write off. Americans from the poorest families in this country are audited at 5 times the rate of those millionaires and billionaires. So again, he has been enjoying a privilege that most Americans don't. Daniel Heller in 1975 began as counsel of a newspaper to expose that IRS were illegally sort of wiretapping and surveilling prominent citizens. And they returned with a vindictive vengeance a conviction for him of tax evasion. He won a $500,000 lawsuit, ended in a settlement paid out by your tax dollars because, yes, those agents acted outside of color of authority and infringed on his civil rights. He went to prison. He had never evaded taxes. He was an upstanding citizen. Hunter is none of those things. He's a George IV reign, and I am sick and tired of him complaining that he is being treated anything other than like what most of us American citizens don't get to enjoy, which is all the privilege in the world.
Lisa, it's not putting Hunter over here. It's not good for President Biden. Our Fox News poll showed his corruption. The belief that he is corrupt has gone up. It was 44% in May who said Biden is corrupt. Now it's 48%. That's a 4-point jump in just a few months.
Yeah, but I worry that Republicans are heading into 2024 with too much complacency and thinking that this is going to be a normal election. We don't have normal election cycles anymore, and they are trying to criminally convict the leading Republican candidate. And they might actually convict him before the presidential election and potentially try to remove him from the ballot, as Adam Schiff is recently on camera saying that that's the effort he's trying to lead. So we aren't in normal times. And then even in all of this, in this environment, if you look at the head-to-head in the Real Clear Politics polling, Joe Biden and Donald Trump are essentially tied. On the Republican on the generic ballot, rather, Democrats and Republicans are tied as well. So it's already a dogfight. And then we're also in this weird political terrain. So I don't know. I don't know if Joe Biden's as weak as Republicans think he is. So I caution about complacency.
I think you're exactly right to put that cautionary note. Yeah. I mean, red wave. We thought it was going to be a red wave. Polling indicated a red wave, and there was not. Harris, that being said, what we are seeing in the polling, which I agree we should put an asterisk on, is 67% of Democrats say they want a different candidate than Joe Biden. That's Democrats. James Carville telling the New York Times, the voters don't want this. That's in poll after poll. You can't look at what you look at and not feel apprehension.
So the problem with that, and Doug and I were talking about this off camera a few moments ago, are the 33% who actually want Biden. And the 67 aren't saying that they'll take, as I always say, anybody but Biden. They might not take a Republican. Right. And that's the challenge here. Yeah, they might take a Gavin Newsom or Gretchen Whitmer. I mean, maybe we can't figure out why, but they might over a Republican. And I kind of hear you saying what Lisa said. Don't take anything for granted, Republicans. You need to be doing something about it. So what do you do?
Yeah, you don't. One, you got to get out with a message that is actually beyond Joe Biden. It's beyond how bad Joe Biden, how weak Joe Biden is, how he can't walk off of the stage, how he can't stand up, and how he can't answer questions, that's easy. I mean, and Democrats can see that. But we've got to make a message that says we need energy independence. We need our schools back to teaching. We need our law enforcement protected. We need a national security that is not a laughingstock among the world. And I think that's one of the things that we've got to make the message on. If we make it simply about how bad Joe Biden is, we're falling into sort of the same trap Democrats did. But I have an interesting take, and you're talking about our questions, what we talk about off camera. The interview you had last hour on this Biden with Matt Whitaker brought up something that I hadn't thought about this case that he's brought against IRS. I think the interesting issue and what you said is how many of us would like if a whistleblower on public TV decided to use Doug Collins and say, well, Doug Collins' tax return said this. At what point do we say Hunter Biden is a public figure that deserves a private tax return to be publicized in a very public setting? I mean, it's going to be an interesting legal. Now, do I think that he's evaded and does he hadn't got special treatment? We agree with all that. But this case simply talks about you put my public information from a private citizen standpoint into the public sphere. Will it work? I don't know.
Can I say that the attorneys responded to that? The Shapley legal team addressed exactly that, Doug, and they said neither IRS SSA Gary Shapley nor his attorneys ever released any confidential taxpayer information except through whistleblower disclosures authorized by statute. They argued once Congress released that testimony, like every American citizen, he has a right to discuss that public information. That's a direct quote from the attorney.
And I would argue the people who say they were on a smear campaign, one was a Democrat and one was apolitical. So there was no motive here whatsoever. But, Lisa, I do want to quickly get this in, just back to the general election for a moment, because there's an interesting piece from Peggy Noonan that we want to refer to. Check it out here. Biden can't resist the river of power, but only Joe Biden can remove Joe Biden, and there's every sign he means to hang on even past 82. And after more than 50 years operating at the highest levels of public life, she makes an interesting point. He is the weakest candidate, maybe other than Kamala, on the Democratic side of the aisle, but he's too stubborn to ever remove himself.
This is what I've been saying. Stay in the race, Joe. Like, I've been saying this, and I'm like, please stay. I want to go against Joe Biden. We should want to face the weakest candidate, and to your point, he's the weakest candidate. They're also running out of time, at least in the Democrat primary. I think Nevada has an October 15th deadline to declare. So unless it's done at the convention, they're running out of time.
So it's ironic. Nadler and others are trying to get Trump's name off ballot, and they better be concentrating on their own guy and getting his name on a ballot.
Run, Joe, run.
You really get a Hillary-type feeling where the elites, the establishment said she's unbeatable, she's going to win, and the rank and file are just like, oh, she seems kind of corrupt to us.
They don't want to.
Hey everyone, I'm Emily Compagno. Catch me and my co-hosts Harris Faulkner and Kaylee McEnany on Outnumbered every weekday at 12 p.m. Eastern, or set your DVR. Also, don't forget to subscribe to the Fox News YouTube page for daily highlights.